Nick Durant, Apanu's father, trained with Damian Durant, so following in the family lineage as he steps into the first round of the WBC Grand Prix.
Barry, in martial arts tournaments when I would fight, depending on who was in the crowd, would decide whether it would be a factor whether I was nervous or not. What do you think about having Martin McCauley in the, in the crowd like this?
Well, I think you want to impress. You know, if he's one of your heroes and stuff, and close to you, or encouragement or inspiration, you want to impress. But there's a fine line between trying too hard, if that makes any sense, because you'll make more mistakes.
Right.
So you've got to try and keep your temperament even, but even though you want to be your best. So sometimes that sharpness, it gives you a little bit of an edge and makes you better, or you can be overwhelmed by it and maybe get a little bit too just make too many mistakes.
Yeah. Quick combination there from Apanu.
Looks pretty sharp in there for a 3-year veteran, you know.
A very short amateur career, and not too many official amateur fights, but went the white collar circuit, similar to Fabio Wardley.
But
looks a little more composed.
Anyone listen, that's not the route to go to, though. By the way, it can happen, but it's an anomaly what he's done, Fabio Wardley. I would suggest, not guarantee, I would suggest you learn it.
Nice right hand there. That one might have buzzed Hrivňák. And I think Apanu seeing it as well. He goes downstairs to the body, and now he unloads up top. Apanu maybe with a chance to finish Hrivňák here in the opening round.
Up to that point, Hrivňák looked really composed, didn't he?
Hrivňák looking at the clock.
Looks to be okay now, Hrivňák.
30 seconds.
I tell you what, though, we talk about when he panicked under the pressure there, and I think for Apanu, I think that's something that they got to go out the corner and go, listen, you just put loads of pressure on this kid.
Hrivňák just getting touched to the body there. No response whatsoever from Hrivňák. You're right, Barry. Looks a little shell-shocked right now. As Apanu has one more jab before we head back to the corners.
Thank you. Bit of water, rinse your mouth and spit.
What you don't know, if you're in Apanu's corner, is for Hrivňák to get some confidence back. So they should be telling him he doesn't like it when you put it on him. So you literally, as the bell goes, you run up to him, get onto him as quick as you can, and let your hands go. Stay low, let your hands go, and see how he reacts. And I don't think he'll react in a good way.
Apanu caught him at the end of that right hand. It was beautiful. He goes for the body.
But up until that point, even though nothing much was happening, I thought Hrivňák was doing quite well. He had his hands nice and high. He took a couple of nice 1-2 straight shots down the line, and he looked very composed. But once he took a shot, he seemed very dismayed.
Flustered, right?
Yeah, flustered.
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice of words.
As round 2 begins, might not be a bad idea too. Again, you're testing the confidence level of a guy in Hrivňák who's also entering this fight coming off a loss. He had a 10-round decision loss to Vladimir Razinec. That was in September of last year, back home in Czechia, in a bid for the Czech cruiserweight title. Now getting buzzed in the opening round.
And Apanu, he stays low, doesn't he? But he leans over to his right-hand side, just makes it a little harder maybe to get that right hand into play. You got to sort of punch across your body. That's what he needs to do there. Hrivňák is just get that jab in the face, get a bit more confidence. You work, if you land with that shot, you know all the other shots can connect.
I think Apanu's movements more like a seasoned fighter than a fighter that doesn't have much under his belt.
Again, given who's in his corner, you know, you trust that Durant camp that if they had a fighter that was wholly unprepared for a moment like this, he just wouldn't be here at all. Dozens and dozens of world champions trained by that family. Nice right hand there, though, from Hrivňák.
Again, he's looking for that big right hand. The 1-2 was there. You did it, and it landed. Just do it again. I don't think Apanu really made the most of what he did in the end of that first round. He's just allowed the Hrivňák just to get a bit of confidence back.
He's starting to pick up the foot pressure a little bit now. We're hearing word from Claudia Trejos that when the corner of Apanu shouts shoe shine, they don't literally mean to kind of shoe shine to the body. They mean pick up the tempo.
Yeah.
More shots.
Code word.
Does she have some sort of invisible cloak or something? She's just walking around and
I don't know. She's walking around with a polygraph or something.
Shot up top there from Apanu. Nice long-range left hook that goes downstairs to the body. Touched by a right hand of Hrivňák, came right back immediately. Apanu looking like a fighter, as you pointed out, Barak, confident beyond his 3 years of experience.
Absolutely. But it's his stance. You know, he has the right stance. He has the right movement. It just looks like a natural in there.
as you said, he's a little faint.
Yeah.
Quentin, okay? I want to tell you again.
Well, we brought up the white-collar legend himself, Fabio Wardley, and he's going to be back in action on June 7th against Jarrell Big Baby Miller. A homecoming for Fabio Wardley, June 7th, live here on DAZN.
After 2 rounds, one judge has it even. Draw 19-19, and the other 2 judges have it 20-18 for the green corner, Apanu.
So 2 judges have Reagan Apanu up by 2 rounds thus far. Even on the 3rd scorecard. There you see the scores on your screen. A little bit concerning, though, for Apanu. When he went back to the corner, all 3 of us were watching him kind of slumped over the top ropes. Maybe fatigue starting to set in already for the 23-year-old now making his home in Johannesburg.
I know they're heavyweights, and they're carrying a lot of weight, but you shouldn't be gassing after 2 rounds, unless it's literally a Hagler-Hearns type sort of fight.
Full counter right hand there from Hrivňák.
Sometimes nerves make you appear to be fatigued as well. You know, your heart's beating faster.
And also, it doesn't matter how tired you are. If you recovered in that minute, and you go and do it again, you're meant to be tired to go back to the corner. That's another argument. If you're not tired going back to the corner, and you haven't totally dominated that round, then you haven't done your job.
Hrivňák with significantly more overall boxing experience than Apanu here. He represented his country on the international circuit at the European Games, both as a senior and as a junior, as Apanu offers up an uppercut there from long range.
And traditionally, he's better because his structure is better, so he should be landing shots cleaner.
A few moments ago, Martin Piccoli was yelling some instructions to Apanu, and in this intimate setting, you can hear it.
Yeah, of course.
Short little counter left hook off the ropes there from Apanu. Inside the final minute here of round 3.
Watch the hold. Come on, guys.
Hrivňák certainly more polished, like you're talking about, Barry, but Apanu just, dare I say, a little bit more athletic, a little bit more fluid, you know?
Fluid is the exact word there, the perfect word for it, because the punches are smooth, aren't they, when he throws them.
Nice right hand there from Apanu, gets there first. Hrivňák finally loaded up on that right hand that you've been asking for, Barry, but he doesn't get there quick enough.
Work, guys. Come on. Back up.
Good reaction time there from Apanu to counter off the ropes.
That's the advantage of shorter shots. Not lifting up your elbow so high to deliver a right hand.
Apanu being asked to step it up here in the final 10 seconds, just in case this round could be close. And we will head back to the stools. Martin McCauley liking what he's seeing right now.
He nicks that round there, Apanu, because even if none of those punches landed, the fact that nothing was happening from the other corner, from Hrivňák, so it's whatever. But either way, you know, he just didn't do it. Like, he's not doing enough work, and Apanu there is committing himself to the attack.
Give him a chance, then he looks like he's kind of in the fight.
Hrivňák needs to do more work.
Feeling the pace. Deep breaths in and out. Okay, so then use your movements, move around, and choose your punches.
You're extending your arms. You're holding. Don't give you free play. Listen.
Round 4 underway here. Nice uppercut on the inside there from Apanu. You know, Barry, if indeed Apanu is a fighter who might be kind of teetering on the edge of genuinely being fatigued, he's in a fight right here where he's not being pushed to that brink. He has a guy in Hrivňák who's kind of allowing him to stay right on that brink. He's not redlining energy-wise here.
Well, Hrivňák's allowing him to restore the energy and go again. You know, so he's fighting in spurts, and it's relatively effective for him, yeah. I think we said this with the middleweights. When he stops, you go. When he's tired, that's your chance to work.
Once in a while, too, Apanu doing some nifty work working with his back against the ropes, these short little uppercuts.
Just did a double uppercut a couple of seconds ago.
Let's go.
Yeah, Hrivňák, he hasn't used what he has to his full advantage, really.
Apanu rolls really good with the shots. He sees things coming. He can feel it coming when he's not even looking. Very good ability in that man.
I mean, this is an issue, too, for Hrivňák, Brock, the way that he defends on the inside. He just kind of has his hands tucked underneath his chin. There are free shots for Apanu if he can get free like that.
Right, because he's trying to defend what's bothering him the most. That's the uppercut, you know.
Or body shots, one of the two, yeah.
Right, and meanwhile, you're leaving yourself open for those hooks.
Very cordial of Apanu there, telling the ref, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
But ultimately, through all the stuff, Apanu's just hustled him.
Yes. Yeah, he's flat out outworking Hrivňák right now.
And skill, outskilling him. See those subtle little blocks, you know, like this is a skillful display.
Nice right hand there from Apanu.
And when he punches, he's taking his head off the line, you see? Not just
Apanu,
reckless.
again, making a little late surge at the end of the round, just to put an exclamation point on it. He's done that the last couple rounds. And that will please Martin Pavol.
And I'm here. And here we are with Martin Pavol, and you're watching your protege. What do you see?
Oh yeah, we're winning the fight. I'm so happy. Even the referee said that we're winning the fight. I'm so happy to see my brothers winning.
What would you like to see him do better?
I want him to see him box because knockout, he looked like a little bit tired and the guy's tough. I want him to box to win the fight on the point because he's looking for knockout. That's why I'm shouting, ask him to box.
Yet such a short career as a pro, and he's very mature in there. What makes him so good at this point into his career?
Because he's listening to his corner, listening to us, and I think he trained hard for this fight.
Thank you very much, Martin. Back to you, Corey.
Thank you so much, Claudia. And let's listen into the scores here from Thomas Driver.
One judge has it 40-36, and one judge has it 39-38. Both of those scores are
Okay, so interesting scores there. That actually means that Hrivňák could win this fight on the scorecards if he can win the next 2 rounds, Barry.
Yeah, but I think it's all flowing in the favor of Apanu for me.
So perhaps that's a little bit of a boost for the Czech heavyweight.
But again, like we've seen so often, and it is an experience for all these fighters, and rightly so, but just not fighting your sort of fight. And I understand you can be dragged in or forced into someone else's fight, but I don't think it's been the case here. I think he's allowed Apanu in many ways to fight his fight, but now he's in it, it's difficult for him to get out of that situation.
Body shot there from Hrivňák. And another one. Hrivňák showing a little variation in his offense for the first time in a little while.
Yeah, Hrivňák, he just gets too close, he walks up too close. Just speed up, if you can just speed up that jab a little bit.
You know, one element that may be playing a factor here for Hrivňák, he's the current WBC Youth Cruiserweight champion. Yesterday, he weighed in at 236, excuse me. So he's 36 pounds, almost 37 pounds heavier than he's used to fighting at. And we're asking questions about his punch output. He's looking at the clock right now. Maybe the added weight is what's doing it here, in addition to the other things we've been talking about.
But he's got to carry weight that he's not used to carrying, and also the weight of his opponent pushing on him. Right? All that can play a factor, of course.
Definitely, this is a new territory from. I remember when Canelo fought Triple G the first time, he was on the back foot, first time ever, and got gassed out after the 5th round. You know, so even though he trained probably the whole camp for that way, but you're not used to fighting that way. So carrying around 30 extra pounds, I'm sure, is having a bad effect on him.
Now 10 seconds, a couple left hooks connect there from Hrivňák, and now tries to do his own, maybe round theft. With a quick combination downstairs.
Wasn't bad either. Bunch of left hooks to the body. That first left hook to the body, I thought actually affected Apanu, but maybe not. He's having some trouble in the corner, Apanu.
Hrivňák didn't go back too fresh either, to be fair.
Maybe those shots did for the body. Maybe those shots did have an effect on him.
He's worked hard in that round though. Hrivňák, and maybe close the gap a little bit there.
Why don't you put the power in the body? Focus on the head. Just touch the head and put your power in the body. Okay? That's where it's keeping him tight and he can't let his hand go because you're getting the body so nice.
Championship round.
Final round here between Pavol Hrivňák and Reagan Apanu. See who will advance to the next round. Apanu stepping up to heavyweight to enter this tournament. Reagan Apanu, a relative novice, just in the sport of boxing in general, but also as a pro, just 2-0. Right hand to the body there from Apanu, swims underneath. And the way that these two looked in the corners and heading back to their corners, I think the final round just comes down to who's fresher right now.
And they're going to have to fight in bursts, aren't they? And whose burst can be most effective.
Hard body shots there from Hrivňák.
Yeah, Apanu's got to come forward now, hasn't he?
Stop putting your head down.
On his corner also asking him to go to the body, and they're frustrated with the fact
but
he's not adhering to that, but
even if he can't hit clean, he's got to be the one pushing Hrivňák back, I think. Just because the whole impression he's doing more work, he's being more successful.
Body shot there from Apanu. Good body work here from Hrivňák.
He's had the better of the round so far for me, Hrivňák.
Yeah, there's been 6 or 7 hard body shots that he's landed in this round, make it 8.
And he's forcing the pace, isn't he? A low, slow pace, but still. Just if someone's the check flag.
Just to take
badge.
the flag out.
Emblem on the trunks of Hrivňák coming loose.
Uppercut there from Apanu.
This body work of Hrivňák, if he had done this all fight long, this might have been a completely different fight.
I truly think that's the difference. The body work that Hrivňák's been doing.
Final 30 seconds. Looks like Apanu, with what he has left, is just looking to empty the tank, but so is Hrivňák, who goes back downstairs again.
It'll make this fight interesting, isn't it?
10 seconds, let's go.
Closing moments of a seesaw battle here between Hrivňák and Apanu. We will head to the scorecards that could be interesting.
There's a lovely right hand there from Hrivňák right at the end of that round. A round I think he won.
Ring Magazine brings you Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. The eagerly anticipated showdown has been years in the making, and it'll finally take place at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday, April 26th. You can buy it now at DAZN.com/boxing. A good showing from Reagan Apanu against a much more experienced opponent here, and we'll wait for the scorecards, but quite possible that he advances to the next round. Pavol Hrivňák with that late surge, we'll see if it was enough on the judges' scorecards. Nervous moments for both men, I'm sure. Which of these 23-year-olds will we see in June in the second round? And it would appear that Thomas Triber has the answer in his hand, so let's send it back up to the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Junbei Lim scores it 57-57, even a draw. Judge Nawaf Elmohai Mead scores it 59-55, and Judge Eddie Hapu scores it 58-57, both for your winner by majority decision. And still undefeated, Reagan Apanu!
So much to the delight of Martin Bacoli, his good pal Reagan Apanu will advance to the second round. Representing the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We'll see him again in June here at the WBC Grand Prix.
The WBC Grand Prix continues at a pace here on The Zone, the home of boxing.
Hey, listen up. Let's have it. We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 185 fights on The Zone every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Chanting through